Hey there, it's Gail with the weekly energies for the Lightworker Starseed Collective this week, especially Lightworkers and Starseeds in mission. And I felt inspired to pick a pile for this week's message. So pile 1 is the Labradorite, pile 1. Pile 2 is Larimar, and pile 3 is amethyst. So whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, I'll give you a moment to tune in and feel into which pile is the message for you. I may clarify with tarot, I may not. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I just felt like we'd do something a little bit different this week. I'm also tuning in just generally to see if there are any messages coming through. So one of the messages that's been coming through lately has a lot to do with seeing the truth in all things and really being honest with ourselves about how things are versus how we want them to be. I'm thinking of the Eight of Swords. That's been coming up quite a bit when I'm getting these energies, when I'm doing my journaling, and it's really kind of the thoughts and the patterns that keep us stuck. And this is a time in this time of year, this season, to start to let go of those thoughts, those patterns that keep us stuck. If you think about the Eight of Swords, if you're familiar with that in the tarot, it's usually a woman with a blindfold on, and she's got the swords around her, and her hands are bound, and she looks stuck. But the reality is, the hands are not bound very tight, and the swords are actually around her. If she just took one step forward, she would be able to get herself out. And so I'm really feeling a lot of that energy this week. So if there's something that you find yourself continuing to think about, and it's something that feels like it's holding you back or keeping you from going towards what you desire, the message really is to take a good, hard, honest look at what that's all about for you. Do some journaling about it. You might want to do some inner child work about it, because it's something in the unconscious or the subconscious that's keeping you feeling like you're in that stuck place. And the truth is, it's the thoughts and perhaps even the story that you're telling yourself about the way that you feel, or what your circumstances are that are actually keeping you stuck. So I'm going to dive right into the pick a piles. I'm going to start with the Labradorite. So for all of you who picked pile 1, we've got Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. Oh, beautiful. Wood Nymph, beauty. And Lapis Lazuli. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like that Rhino Spirit, when you think about rhinos, right? Like, they have really tough skin. They can be very aggressive and scary animals. They can also be gentle giants, right? And so what I'm feeling from this card is that maybe not taking things so personally, setting boundaries. It could be a message to soften your edges a little bit, so if your tendency is to be aggressive or be assertive, the message may be to kind of, work on being a little gentler. And if the opposite is true for you, where you tend to kind of hold back, be reserved, maybe even be a little bit of a wallflower, or, some people might call it a doormat. I'm not saying that with judgment. I'm just saying, to give you a sense of the energy around it. This could be a call for you to really stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself, speak up, yeah, like I said, like have those really clear and strong boundaries. This beauty card I'm feeling is, this reminds me of the moon card. So there may be some things that are hidden from your view right now. Some things maybe in your subconscious, like I was saying with the general message that was coming through. There may be some things to take a look at in the subconscious or in the unconscious. It's not necessarily something that you have to be afraid of. I mean, look at these women. They look like they're actually having a pretty good time here. So but there may be some things lurking underneath the surface, right? That need to have to, they not have to, but they need for you to pay attention. Okay. They need tending to. That's the word I was looking for. They need tending to. Because what happens is when you're willing to go deep into the subconscious and even in the unconscious, yeah, it's a little murky, might be a little scary. But when you start to uncover those things, I'm looking at these lotus flowers here, right? The lotus grows out of the muck. And so it's an opportunity for growth. There may be something here with the actual moon cycle. So this might be what you want to focus on from now until the full moon, which is coming up, I think, around the 22nd-ish in Aquarius. So that really is about thoughts and innovation and vision. So I'm also feeling like there's this call for a purification process. And it could literally be like a physical purification with beauty being the theme of this card. Maybe it's kind of taking a look at your habits, your nutrition, your activity, skincare. It could be any of that stuff, right? It could be a physical thing, could be emotional, could be a combination of things. With the lapis lazuli, I think I'm saying that right. This to me feels like there's a lot of, I'm getting a lot of energy about speaking with these three cards too. Notice how she's come forward. There's something here about standing out, speaking up, or speaking truth. This may be the piece that needs a little bit of introspection and healing. There's a little bit of yellow and red here that I'm feeling like it's leaning into being more confident about speaking your truth. And there may literally be some throat chakra healing that you want to do in the coming week that will help you. My throat's actually getting closed up as I'm talking about this. So what I'm feeling is that there's some energetic blocks around this idea of speaking what's true for you. Okay? And this is an opportunity to start working with those energies, clearing those blocks, going within, doing that deep dive around what is it that makes you feel unsafe or exposed. Of course I get a call. When it comes to speaking your truth. So I'm just going to tune in here and see if we need any clarifiers with tarot. No. Okay. So that's the message for pile 1. So we're going to move on to pile 2, which is the Larimar, which interestingly, Larimar has to do with throat chakra as well. All right. So, Fox Spirit, think on your feet. Leadership. Beautiful. I love that card. Leadership. And fluorite. Okay. Yeah, and I'm very quickly getting a lead from the heart message. So fox makes me think of coyote too. We are in summer. This is a time for a more playful spirit. So what I'm feeling is like with your leadership, there's an opportunity here in the coming week to really integrate more playfulness, to integrate more creativity, spontaneity, and heart into your leadership. Now, I know a lot of you lead from the heart anyway, but I'm feeling like the message here is to continue to call that forth more so with your mission. I'm also getting, for some of you, especially those of you who have team, I keep hearing like there's a trickster in the ranks. So take what resonates. This is a general reading. This is not for everybody, but for some of you, there's something that's out of alignment with your team. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but it could be a situation that is out of alignment for you. It could be a set of values. So this is also an opportunity to kind of take a step back this week, reevaluate your values, reevaluate. It could just be putting the right people in the right places. So maybe somebody's got a role that is not the best fit for them. So, and I don't feel like this is anybody. It's a trickster, so it's not a heavy energy. I don't feel like there's manipulation or maliciousness or anything like that, but something is out of alignment that's being called for to take a look at. I'm going to read from the book a little bit on the fluorite because I'm not as familiar with this, and I'm just going off of the color here on this card. Okay, so there may be some decluttering as well. Now, that could be in your physical space. That could be in your thoughts. It could be your digital files. I know I've been actually getting this message for me personally to purify and clean up. I have a lot of old files from years ago, and I've been getting the message like it's time to release that. Declutter your workspace. If you're in an office, to really go through and organize, and maybe you need to archive some files. It could be like literally decluttering your thoughts or the old patterns that no longer serve your team or your mission. Again, like this look, going over your values or like reevaluating. Values tend not to change dramatically, but it really depends on your journey and what you've been going through. So there's something here about decluttering. There's something here about distractions. It could just be, what are you consuming, right? What kind of information are you consuming? Is it information that actually supports you, feels good? Not to say, to bypass negativity and pretend that it's not there. I'm not at all suggesting to put your head in the sand, but really like, do you have a balance? And are you consuming things that raise your vibration, that feed your soul? Or are you, really hooked into a lot of negative inputs? I just want to see if there's anything else with this card. Yeah, so in the prosperity message, it says, tune into radio conscious universe and align with the purity of love, wisdom, and strength being transmitted so that the affluence you seek can have a clear channel to reach you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you're filling yourself with fearful information, with fearful thoughts, with scarcity, with limited beliefs, then that's what you're going to get. If you're working on your mission, if you're working on creating and receiving abundance, there's something here for you to take a look at, like, how are you cultivating that abundant mindset to be that clear channel so that the physical manifestation of that abundance can reach you. So that might be the trickster in the ranks, is that there's maybe some sort of scarcity thought pattern or scarcity story, some money stories that maybe you need to kind of take a look at and prune and declutter and heal. And that is going to support your leadership. Okay, I feel like there's a couple of different messages there for a couple of different groups. It could be all for you, but I felt like that it's either or. So take what resonates, leave the rest. All right, so pile 3 is amethyst, and we have time to collaborate. Yeah, it is. It is a time to collaborate. There's plenty to go around. This kind of follows on the heels of the abundance. Oh, look at that. Change. Yep, things are changing. We're moving to a more collaborative society. We're moving out of that competition, destroy the competition and sodalite. Okay. So this Ant Spirit card, yes, talks about collaboration with like-minded colleagues, team members, family, friends, but it's also a call to collaborate with spirit. Really bringing spirit into your mission, planning your business with spirit, really being able to live from that place and lead from that place. Someone recently shared with me how she connects with spirit every day, and she actually asks, what do you need me to do today? Work your magic through me. And that's what I'm feeling with this third pile with the amethyst. Is really practicing, getting into a practice of co-creating with source, spirit, universe, however you want to call it. And that's going to bring some powerful changes. I mean, these are the changes that are coming anyway. And what I'm feeling is that, the change, it can be a smooth transition or it can be a rough transmission, but the power is yours. The power is within you to really lean into how you want to navigate that change. It's a beautiful card with the dragonfly. I've been seeing dragonflies all over the place lately. And we are really in a time of great change right now. The vibration of the planets rising, the old systems are crumbling away, and the choice is really yours. Are you going to hold on to what's decaying, or are you going to let go and release and heal whatever you need to heal and enter into this new age of renewal? Yeah. And sodalite is really about that, being in that awakened state, being really intentional, being conscious, being able to communicate your intentions, right? Collaborate with source, and being in creating your life from that space, but also creating in a way that's going to positively impact the world going forward. So this is a really powerful and clear message here for the amethyst group. I'm just going to look into sodalite a little bit deeper here in the book. Oh my gosh. So this is this is a follow-up to pile 2. Sodalite spirit can guide you when you are seeing scarcity instead of abundance. And so here's the thing. Talk about trickster in the ranks, right? So it could be very easy to accept the narrative that we're being given right now about the state of the world, right? It could be very easy to feel a lot of fear and scarcity right now. And it's not to say that these aren't legitimate feelings. when you think about transformation, I'm thinking about this dragonfly. It starts out as a completely different thing. This is the same thing with butterflies, right? And it turns into a hot mess in the middle of the transformation, right? A butterfly it changes from the caterpillar into this goo in the cocoon before it becomes the butterfly. I don't know a whole lot about the dragonfly cycle, but I've seen what they look like before, and I've seen what they look like after. I would imagine it's a similar process. So, while it may feel like things are ending, you can choose to see it as we're in the middle of the process. It's not always going to be this way. And so what I'm feeling for this pile 3 amethyst is seeing that you can have and hold an abundance mindset even at a time that feels uncertain, right? Maybe it even feels, you feel that scarcity. And it feels scary. So this is a reminder to collaborate. If you're feeling that way, it's not to say don't have those feelings, but that's the perfect time to go within, connect with source, and give those feelings up to source, right? Ask for guidance, ask for signs. Am I on the right path? Is everything okay? If you've got questions like that, go within and connect. Connect through your heart. That's not to say that you can't or shouldn't consider external information, but when you're doing both, you'll have a clearer discernment between what is true for you and what is not true for you. Yeah. Prosperity flourishes when you're aligned with the conscious universe and your true self. And I love these little pink petals here. I just feel like it's also and look at the pink wings too. So the other piece of this is that, if you're doing this work, if you're here to be a part of this transformation, this evolution of humanity, it's like God's got your back. God, the universe, source, you're being protected. And in a big piece of this, I would say probably for all 3 of these piles, is really learning to trust that and continuing to deepen that level of trust. Yeah, I'm just tuning in to see if we have if they want me to pull any other cards. All right, I'm going to pull one more card from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, just to kind of like as a final wrap up. And if you're watching on live or watching in the replay, leave your pile in the comments below and let us know if it resonates, what feels true for you. Anything else, Spirit? Oh, jeez. Okay, the Metal King. Boundaries. What did I say? What did I say about the boundaries? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I am feeling like boundaries, but boundaries... Okay, so they're telling me to share something that I do or have been doing. And I can't remember where I heard to do this from. So if I remember, I'll leave the source in the comments below. But every day I start the morning out visualizing and meditating and asking source to allow the high vibe energies and emotions and experiences to flow to me and through me, and the negative to bounce off and go back to the source of that negativity or to get transmuted. So this is, all you can control is yourself, right? You can control your own reactions. You can control your own feelings. You can control your own energy. And I think I know for me personally, that's been the missing piece. And I've been doing this for several weeks now, and I've noticed that that's a very powerful practice for boundaries, in particular energetic boundaries. A lot of really interesting, good things and have been happening that have been from the very simple, but I don't take for granted, people being helpful without me even asking. Okay. And that maybe that happens for you anyway. But that was something new that I noticed. So I'm feeling like this discipline, this armor, it's not being guarded. He's all armored up, and I don't feel that that's what the message is here. It's not shutting out the world, but it is having those boundaries around whatever negativity really doesn't need to be in your space. Okay, sometimes that negativity comes in because we are learning a lesson, and that's fine. Sometimes, a lot of times, for light workers, sensitive people, empaths, right, we're just getting it all because we have those leaky boundaries. So that's something to be aware of this week. It's something to continue to cultivate, having those very clear and solid boundaries. And then we also got the Dream Walker. And they're showing me the number 8 here, which is 8 is, the infinity. It's also speaks of abundance. Dreams, the collective good, illusions. Yeah, and so I feel like that also speaks to over here, this beauty card, right? Like getting to the bottom of the illusions that we're telling ourselves, being honest with ourselves, and working in collaboration with spirit on our desires. All the desires that we have that are for the highest good for ourselves and for the collective. So if you've got any rituals around setting intentions, cultivating commitment to your desires, manifesting, actualizing, tongue-tied. This is a really good week to put those practices into place. Okay, there's something here about this dragon. And then this, I don't know if that's an egret or a crane. But look, you might want to look that up. And I'm also seeing these stars here. I know that Sirius is very visible in the sky right now. So you may want to just do a little bit of research on your own around the symbolism of dragons, cranes or egrets. I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling like that's an egret. And then around Sirius, there may be some additional messages there for you. There's something here about making music too. I don't know if you can see that in this card, but she's playing a flute. So for me, that's creativity, like really unleashing your creativity this week as well. So you may be a musician. I was going to say magician. You may be a magician. But even if it's not music, it's like painting, writing, whatever your muse is. This is the week to just allow yourself the space to create. Wow. Lots of great messages this week. So let me know in the comments below what pile you pick, if it resonated, if you have any of these practices, or if you want to try any of these practices that I mentioned in the reading, let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, Gail Nowak. I post these readings over there as well. And I also share educational content for lightworkers, healers, conscious business owners when it comes to clearing and releasing your visibility blocks. So guys, that's your reading for this week. Hope you have a great week. Let me know how it goes, and I'll catch you later.